Welcome to 40 Fit Fu. My name is Oscar and this is Mimi.
Hi, we're here every Tuesday to give you fitness tips and advice on how you can continue well into your 40s and up to do the activities you enjoy, like Kung Fu or Tai Chi or any level of fitness.
And a few weeks ago, we put out questions to viewers and clients, especially if you're 40 and up. What are some questions that you have for us? And so we are continuing that, and I believe this is episode 78 with more Q&A.
More Q&A. So first question, what are some cardio exercises besides running or climbing the stairs? I think there was a parenthesis there because that kind of bothers the knees. So in particular, something that can be in avoidance of that.
Okay. Would you like me to go?
Oh, I know you're excited to talk about exercise. I mean, you know.
Right.
You are the fitness professional after all.
Okay, first of all is we've talked in the past about the ground impact forces, right? And with every step, it's about 1 to 2 of your body weight for each step. And so yes, when you run or maybe try to climb up stairs, you're putting more force into the tissues. And so all that means is maybe you're just not strong enough for that. But if you're able to walk without pain, my first thing is to say, do not underestimate the power of walking.
That's right.
There is a story, and I think I read this from Pavel Satsling, from the Kettlebell master, is that there's a fighter who broke his ribs training, but had an upcoming fight, and for his conditioning, he was doing, I don't know, let's say 2 miles. Maybe it was more, maybe it was less. But let's say it was 2 miles. And so he wasn't able to run because it was bothering his ribs. And so what he did instead was he doubled the amount of time, the amount of length, but walked it instead. So he just walked 4 miles instead. 6 weeks later, when his ribs healed, his conditioning was still good. He didn't lose it.
Nice.
The other thing is kettlebell swing.
I was gonna say kettlebell swings.
Yeah, tell me why.
Well, the reason I thought of that was, one, is you're pretty much in a stationary position. If you're moving correctly during that movement, it really shouldn't impact that, especially if you've cleared something like the FMS and then also have a really good hinge and a deadlift kind of positioning. So if you're taught correctly, I think it's the best because you can do it kind of anywhere. You can do it body weight, you can do it with the kettlebell, so it doesn't even have to be with the bell. But it also, to me, is time efficient because you can walk for 30 minutes. You cannot kettlebell swing for 30 minutes, but you still are getting that cardio, that heart rate up, and I just like the efficiency of it. And I think it also translates super well to Kung Fu and Tai Chi with the waist and learning how to do that, that dynamic breathing. So there's so many aspects of it that I love, but no one loves kettlebell swings more than you, so I'll let you talk about it then.
Well, remember, kettlebell swing has to start with a good deadlift, right? And then basically it's a moving deadlift. You're going from a plank to a hinge. You're hinging, planking, hinging, planking. And so, yes, kettlebell swings are an excellent cardiovascular / strength exercise, or strength / cardio exercise. Depending on the weight of the bell that you're moving, it can become more strength to more cardio, but honestly, it's a combination of both. And it is good for the knees because you are learning to kind of lock yourself up all the way here at the top into a nice strong plank position. You're able to stack the joints properly at the top of the plank.
Demo one body.
So it would be here to
see that nice V.
So first you hinge back, or kettlebell would be here, and then at the top, boom. And the thing is, you can make that, if it were body weight, fast.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 and do it for time. And then if you are effective at it with actual kettlebell, even better.
Even better. So those are our 2 suggestions. And I believe you have some videos on the kettlebell swing as well, as well as the hinging. So check our YouTube channel at Wallen Films under Control Your Health.
Yeah, there's a 5-part swing series and showing you how to hinge.
Not like swing.
Showing you how to hinge, and then showing you how to do a bodyweight swing to a kettlebell swing.
Yeah, so there's a great progression series there, so check that out. And the second question is about eating. You love eating, so I thought this would be good. Actually, it's asking what type of things to decrease or increase in the diet, when one is thinking about their diet and doing better in terms of paying attention to portion size, but wanting to lower the quote-unquote not so healthy items and increase the healthier. What type of things do you think you want to increase and decrease from the diet? And I'm gonna guess it doesn't say what the goal is, but I would guess overall health, maybe some weight loss, but just general. It was a general question.
Well, I'm gonna throw it to you first because you are the master chef. She's Raekwon the chef. Well,
well, I will say that initially, instead of just eating, my first thing is water. So I think the whole soda, you know, any liquid calorie that's just huge, that's going to make a big difference. And instead of saying I'm never going to drink Coca-Cola again, although that would help, I think if you just start with how much more water can you take in, because that will also help satiate you before you eat. So for me, my first thing is to say increase water, and then it'll automatically decrease some of those sugary drinks that you already know aren't such a good choice.
You know it deep down.
Yeah, so I would even say something and go as far as saying skip that mochaccino, frappo, whatever, and take that budget and put it towards something like, you know, you can do something like a charity, or you can do something with that and put it towards veggies for your meal or something. But for me, if you increase your water, it actually helps a lot of other things.
Yeah, so as with most things, the answer is in the question. So excellent question, because really you're trying to be more self-aware. That's really the master skill right there when it comes to eating, is paying attention. You're like, maybe I am eating some things too much, or maybe I'm not getting enough of the right thing. So it's a great question. I think when it comes down to it, yes, water is huge, but number two is, just like we all know, right? We probably need more vegetables and protein in our diet. Just think of whenever you're gonna have a meal, how am I gonna get protein and vegetables? Veggies and protein, that is what food is for you. This is if you want to add what you wanna add, because it's super easy to get all the other bad stuff. Like, we know what we should eliminate. We don't need to go down the list.
Yes.
But when it comes to what to add, most people are missing more vegetables, more lean, you know, the right types of protein. And I think that will make a huge difference.
Yeah, so like you said, the answer is in the question. So if you increase those things, you're going to be decreasing, because you'll be full from all the good food that automatically satiates you. Your body knows, oh, I want more of this processed food because I'm not really full, because it's not really nutritious. There's nothing there. You could eat a whole bag of chips or a whole pizza, versus if you can't eat 5 apples. Well, maybe you can, but I mean, your body tells you. So if you increase the good foods, it automatically will cancel out. So very good.
Just more protein and vegetables.
Yeah,
Easy.
Proteins and veggies. So our last one is, what stretches can I do for my hips and lower back? I think you posted something as a temporary answer. We do have a lot of posts, former episodes that we kind of do, but maybe you can do a quick.
I would just say you're kind of right on target with how can we get more mobile hips. But we've talked about before the joint by joint approach, which is thinking that the optimal movement for a joint is either going to be a position of mobility or stability, and going up the chain from the floor up is this interchanging mobility stability. So we know that the hips need to be very mobile, which means that the next joint up the chain, which is your low back, needs to be relatively stable, and then the next joint up, the upper back, needs to be very mobile. So mobile upper back, stable lower back, which is, you wrap around, that's your midsection, your core, your abs, and then very mobile hips. Okay, if you focus on really, so if the question is, well, I need to stretch my lower back, I would maybe stay away from that first. Get your hips very mobile, get your upper back very mobile, strengthen this section, and you probably will get what you're looking for.
Absolutely. And we have a couple episodes on some hip stretches. We've done the 90-90 stretch. We've also done some joint mobility. We wouldn't be at 4T Fit Food without talking about joint mobility.
Right.
So we did several episodes on that. Maybe we'll just go ahead and rehash that, since so many people ask about the hips and the lower back. We'll probably do an upcoming episode. So thank you so much for your question, and we'll do some more activity. But in the meanwhile, if you are following us on Walden Films under Control Your Health, and you will see a lot of these exercises. So please let us know if it answers your question after checking those out also, because we want to know if we're being thorough. If it's not answering your question, then we will film some new videos.
To whatever you want, whatever you want.
So that is all for today, I think, on 4T Fit Food. Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Every Tuesday, we'll be posting on Instagram and Facebook, and on the YouTube channel at Sifu Mimi Chan, and also at Control Your Health. See you next week.